Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Philo. We are on episode 45 of Philo. Oh my gosh, we are on episode 45 of Philo. And we are on, I'm trying to remember what I named this. The Great Buffet is what I named this. So I would like to introduce, of course, my wonderful partner, which is Miss Robin, who's tiny in the corner and shouldn't be. There's Robin.
Oh, I'm huge.
Not so tiny in the corner. And then, of course, our wonderful guest, which is Kane Lynch. Kane Lynch, I've known forever, and Kane Lynch is going to get super famous. So make sure you buy their work stuff now, so that you can get it signed by them, and they get famous, and then you can sell it and be like, I got it signed before they were famous. And so, yes, let me turn off the music real quick, and then I will turn on, let's turn on a love theme real quick. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to review, and I'm going to turn down the love theme. So then that way it's not killing us. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to keep track of like all the things. So the reason why I look so different than I normally do is because I am half in my old computer, which is this, and then I have a tower down there, but the monitors aren't working for the tower yet. And so I can't draw from the tower yet. And so I had to set this up for Philo. And so there's no place for the computers now down there, and so now it's here, and we'll figure that out. But yes, we will do a quick review from the beginning, because Kane is coming in late, and it's always good to kind of know what's going on. We have Boys Gone Wild. They are on a cruise after their last adventure. The buffet pirates show up and steal the buffet from the cruise ship because they like to get the cutlery, they like to get the dishes and stuff as their bounty. And then their captain is the Swedish chef from the Muppets, and so they catapult aboard and pretend to be pirates and sniff out the buffets, but then the pirates get a cease and desist letter from Disney, spelled with a D very explicitly, and the Disney lawyers distract them so that they can get their buffet, steal the lawyer's ship, and then Disney with a Z goes after them with their fleet to get their ship back. Hello, everybody. And here I thought it was because you shaved. Hello. Okay, so they do that to get their ship back. And then they go through an asteroid belt. The asteroid belt has sirens living in it that don't like their asteroids being blasted through in order to get traveled through. So they use their anglerfish powers to get the crew to try and get out. One of them accidentally hits the ludicrous speed button, clamoring to get out. The Disney lawyers come basically telling the fleet that they don't have the licensing for ludicrous speed. So the ship stops at a Buc-ee's in space that has a monolith Stargate in the middle of it. And so the little shroom, he knows how to run the Stargate. They go through and they end up in Escherland with shrooms. With a bunch of Stargates. And so a bunch of people come out of the Stargates. We get a rogues gallery emerging from the Stargates. We get a National Honor Society emerging from the Stargates. We get a squad of spaders that come to police the situation from the Stargates. And then we have basically Spader's Court. And in Spader's Court, the Spaders find them guilty of crimes against unreality. This is Ultron as the defense lawyer. And so they're sent to an Escher jail, Block C, where the buffet pirates happen to have their treasure. They have a buffet in there of salmon and tuna and stuff. And so we go through pirate stats. We realize that they collect their pirates through pirate Pokemon method, which is why they have pirate stats. And then so they capture him, and I think that's where we left off, was them getting captured. And then the last panel, I think, was they no, I did all last episode by myself. Okay, so after they get captured, it's basically it's like a apartment on the inside of the Pokeball. And so it's like Perfect Strangers when they're inside their Pokeballs, you know, like they're rooming with other like Pokemon. And so the captain says, bring them to me, and they're released from their Pokeballs. And he's realizing that, like, if they're there, then other people might be on top of their buffet treasure. And so he hazes them with buffet food. And so there's a big giant buffet before them. And that is why the episode is called The Great Buffet. And so that is where we are at, was with The Great Buffet. Kane, do you want to take the first panel? Do you want me to take it?
Why don't you take it while I get acclimated, if that's all right?
No worries. Yes, I will take it. We will figure out where we are going in the story as soon as I find my pen. Oh my gosh, where'd my pen go? Pen! There it is. Okay. Like I said, I'm trying to figure stuff out. I'm referring to this, but the camera's not there. It's here.
Gotta get used to it all in the new system.
Well, it's the camera is going to be here when I get everything set up, but right now these monitors aren't working, and so I will get them working. I should get them working. I should get them working.
Hi, Jeremy.
So what happens next now that they are presented with a buffet?
They start giving toast.
Toast?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I thought that was absurd.
Okay, so they start giving toast. What is our
at the buffet?
Chat? What does chat think? Hi, Amber and Robin. Hi, Kane. Hello. Passion.
Hi, Jeremy.
What's up, girl?
And hi, Mike Digitals. And hi, Shitty Webster.
Yeah, hi, Mike Digitals. Yeah.
And hi, Magic Marmot.
Yeah, and then Jeremy says hi too. Yeah. Let's see. With toast. Okay, so they're making a toast with toast. All right.
Logical.
I think that this should be implemented. So they make a toast with toast. Or should the first toast be capitalized, since it is a noun of a toast? I mean, they're both nouns. But
I
one
think
is
properly neither is capitalized, but if you want to have some artistic license, I support you.
Yeah, like they make a toast. Like it's a grand toast.
Yeah.
And then so just to have concurrent drawing, what do you think happens after the toast? And I should probably spell make correctly.
Is this?
It's like it becomes an awards banquet, and the pirates start getting random awards for like best made bed or hammock. Sorry, best made hammock. And
they're a very supportive pirate group.
Yes.
I could kind of get behind that. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I could kind of get behind that.
So I felt like the pirate award show begins.
Yeah, like the pirate, the pirates, the arties.
The Argies.
Yeah, the arties.
Ahoys.
What you think the ahoys is what the award should be called? Eye patch flare says.
How do you do the Argies?
Says Rob. Eye patch flare. I love that. And then Arcadia Comics stopped in. Hi, folks. How are you doing, Arcadia? That is Randall Drew, by the way, who is going to be on the show in, oh gosh, like I think next week. I think next week is Randall Drew. Oh my gosh. And it's going to be a special showtime next week because Randall's on the East Coast. And so we are accommodating his bedtime. And I think that you know, I don't mind doing that. I don't mind making sure that people get plenty of sleep. But we're accommodating the fact that like he has work in the morning and I don't want him to be a zombie. And so we're just gonna have like a special time. All my promos are gonna have like the special time on it and stuff. So I'm just throwing a shout out to Arcadia Comics, cool comics. The Black Hulk says hello, Glitch and Company. Because I'm a silly East Coaster with a day job. Yes. But
What am I?
You are amongst friends. This is a safe place.
But aren't I also an East Coaster with a day job?
Yes, you are an East Coaster with a day job. And you know what? We could change the time if you want. We could. I would have to make some changes to some promos and talk to some people, but we could if you like the new time next week. You know, if it's better for you. You're my partner. I wanna work with you. Yeah. So
well, when we changed days, I did request like twice if we could start an hour early, and you kind of ignored me. So,
well, I am changing my mind and being open to that. And so the time that we have for next week, just to let you guys know, guess from JPEGs. Oh no, come back, computer. Oh, come on, guess promo JPEGs. Oh no, why is my drive not working? Oh no, why did you de-hook up? No!
well, he is the old man, isn't he? He's your old computer.
It is my old computer, and I have it hooked up in such a way that it should have this folder, but it's not showing up. Because it's not hooked up in the same way, maybe. Oh no. Oh, okay. I was trying to find it. It's trying to find them, and so I have everything going through a USB hookup. Okay, I'm not troubleshooting on the air. I told myself I wouldn't do that. Okay, we're drawing on the air, and then I'm so behind. I'm putting up Kane's art because I'm in shame for what I'm.
You're doing great.
Oh no.
You have been juggling more than one thing besides art. I think you should cut yourself some slack.
Yeah, I do have 2 day jobs, and I am a mom, and yeah. Oh no, come on, don't do this to me. Why are we acting like we're disconnected? Okay, let's not disconnect. Let's be cool.
So Kane, Amber was saying you have a new book to promote.
Yes.
I do. I have a graphic novel called Real Life that's coming out May 20th.
Amber, can you put that in the big screen so we can see the cover better?
Yes, I will
for a
do
moment.
that. Yes,
Thank
I
you.
will do that. Okay, and that will give me some time
I'll
to.
just freeze like this. Thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy, thank you for mentioning real life in your article about the graphics 20th anniversary.
Aw. Okay. Yes. Let me do. So, Real Life is your first book published by a kind of big publisher, but it is not the first time you've been published. You have been published by the Nib. You've been published by. I have a list here. I have a list. I'm somewhat prepared. I have a list. Psychology Today, Slate, and then like independently, you've been published, and a bunch of other stuff too. So
yeah, basically, I've done a lot of short comics for other publications, and then I've done self-published graphic novels. Or I did one that was like serialized through a tech startup that paid me pretty well for doing a graphic novel, but then they went out of business, which is not my fault. So this is my first book from like a trad pub publisher.
yes, excellent.
And yeah, it is interesting because it's like, it's a kid's book, but I feel like a lot of my influences are like the indie comics I grew up with. I was reading Fantagraphics books when I was 11, so it's funny. I don't know.
That's quite an extreme upbringing for Fantagraphics.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Who are some of your favorite cartoonists back then in the stable of Fantagraphics?
Back then I was really into Dan Clowes, especially Jessica Abel, Adrian Domine, who aren't Fantagraphics, but that era of old comics. At the time I kind of slept on Lemon Rockets, but now I really dig it, and I did a lot of like lightly sci-fi slice of life stuff, so I feel like I should have been reading Jaime a lot earlier.
Weirdly, even though Clowes was Fantagraphics, Adrian was Drawn and Quarterly.
Yeah, but they're both like.
I say that as someone who is actually in one of the issues of Optic Nerve.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, I have a tattoo, and so I'm in the inside cover of one of the early issues.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got to show it to him, and he was all excited that the tattooist got his font perfectly. That's what he got really excited about. He was like, "My writing is so exact."
Arcadia, maybe I just need to talk louder. I don't know if there's a way for me to adjust my volume.
The last time that we had issues with that, it was the person's other end. But
yeah, let me see. I'm gonna keep talking and tell me if this is better. Is that any better?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
all right.
Okay, cool.
I am making progress on actually getting to that promo. Oh my gosh. Oh, please
Promo?
don't. Oh. I was trying to find the promo for next week, but my computer keeps disconnecting from the I have this big long USB hub that everything is connected to. And usually the big long USB hub is fine. But right now, for whatever reason, it's having trouble connecting to my old computer. And I think it's because it's going through a squid right now. And I don't want to I think what I'm going to have to do is take myself off for a second and do tech check for myself off screen. And I'm so sorry for this, guys.
Well, okay. I mean, we've got lots to draw, right? So
yeah. Kane,
we'll be good. We have lots of audience, so they'll contribute.
Kane is like, okay, audience, guys, chat. Kane is like one of the coolest people I've ever met.
Oh.
Right? Okay, let me talk up Kane for a second. So way back.
Primordial.
GeoCities time. like MySpace, pre-MySpace time.
We would have killed for MySpace.
The pre MySpace days. There was Keen Space, there was Keen Spot. Everybody wanted to be on Keen Spot, but Keen Space was where the freebies went. And you know, we were on there and we connected because there was forums on Keen Space. And you know, Kane was on the forums, I was on the forums. We had no idea who each other was or how old each other was or anything like that. And it turned out that just by talking to each other, you know, we realized we were kind of similar in age. I think I was like, what, 5 years older than you? Something like that?
We had an overlap being in high school, so I want to say it's like 3, but...
Okay, like 3, like 3 years or something. But old enough that it was like,
You seem very mature and professional to me.
Well, I felt a little weird, like when I drove being in high school, going like, I think this kid is still in middle school.
I was in high school. I was in 10th grade.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, is he still in middle school? Or is he like, no, okay, let's do this. And then we go up, my friend Sean and I had like a stalker at the time. And we had the greatest time reading a screenplay that my stalker had written and sent Kane about his relationship with me, kind of. And yeah, and there was, and so one of the funniest things was my friend Sean kept reading the token black character's lines as like what was it, like an English gentleman. And so like, it was like, what is up, yo?
Because he had written like he basically wrote like a so Kevin Smith screenplay about their relationship, and part of it was like he had the cool black friend, and they would literally just rap together, and it was you know, I don't know his life. Maybe that was based on a real person, but it did not read authentic, so it was good cringe teen art to enjoy.
Yeah, Art Glitch's paint face as she tries to fix all the things. Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, much better. Hello there, just lurking. Oh, thank you, Dragon. And then play amongst ourselves. When Netscape was a thing, yes, Arcadia. And then Friends of Tom. As someone who started high school still under 5 feet, still I know how that feels. And then DSGM hiding how as Daniel Odin's son. I see. Oh, that is Daniel Scott Gabriel Murray, who has been a guest on the show. And now he is Daniel Odin's son. And then, how do you think hello, kids? Says Arcadia Comics. Yes, I felt very much like that, but we had like the best time reading that screenplay.
I think maybe part of what might make this a notable story to our viewers at home is that it's funny to remember the era where like the very fact that we knew each other from the internet and we're meeting in person was like mildly scandalous, right?
Yeah, that too. That too was the fact that it was like, do you know this person? This person could be like a crazy person. And to be fair, I am a crazy person.
My mom was very alarmed that she had unthinkingly given permission for me to have an internet person stay at our house. And then within 5 minutes of meeting you, she was like, Amber's fine.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, hi, you're Kane's mom. It's nice to meet you.
She can't help that she's from the internet. She's a good person.
Yeah. I'm still from the internet. I'm still from the internet. Oh, did you get your helmet on yourself?
Oh, that's very sweet, Daniel.
Yes. Oh, Daddy did it? Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. She got a bike. And so she is practicing her helmet. I met my second wife that way, says Daniel. Aha! The novelty of meeting my internet friends for the first time back in like 2005 by going to house parties several states away. Good times. Yeah, I remember, speaking of house parties, we went to Haven House party down in San Diego for San Diego Comic-Con. I think I brought you there. Or you might have brought me there. I don't know. But the Haven House was a bunch of other Kane Spacers. I know Irie was one of the Haven Housers. And then Skix, who is still I'm still friends with, who did Psychic Dyslexic Institute. He was one of the Haven Housers. And and then Tony, and I'm trying to remember who else, but what was interesting is like a lot of cartoonists like gravitated there after, because it was a San Diego house and they let us sleep on the floor.
Yeah, I'm hoping to go to Comic-Con this year, and that is the part that I'm like, man, what floor will I sleep on? Because it's the only way to go to Comic-Con. I don't know if I can crack it.
Talk to Andrew Farrago. He always loves to have people do drawings stuff, sketch stuff at the booth, and have panels and everything. And I know you and him talk to each other and are in similar circles and stuff, and he's always looking for people, and he always seems to have extra rooms around that time of year.
Okay, thanks.
So I would talk to him. I'd talk to Shannon, but that's just me. And especially with your book coming out and stuff, he'd probably throw you a bone. But yeah, I feel like I'm just going to be managing the comments this time, because my computer keeps disconnecting, and I don't know if my mouse is constantly working. Like I'm going back to this. It seems to be drawing now. So
why are you drawing like a Post-it note?
Well, I wasn't drawing a Post-it note.
I'm saying, what if you did? Because you can't have a glitch with a Post-it note. But you can have a glitch with a Post-it note.
Wah, wah. Yeah, I don't know. Wah, wah. No, I'm receptive to doing the show earlier. I realize that it's 9 o'clock is really late for a night show on the East Coast. And
you mean 10:30?
Well, that's when it ends.
I know, but that's the show's still on. Is my point? It's on till 10:30.
Yeah, exactly. And but 9 is the cutoff time, or I meant is the start time. Like that. Even just as a start time is pretty late. So I don't know. I am receptive to that. I was not receptive to that in the future or in the past. I admit that, but I'm not. I can change my mind and admit I was wrong.
All right, I think I'm done with this one. So
well, I think you're taking on panel 3, because I've been checking on comments and doing tag check and
sure,
and then scribbling panel 1 that
Hi,
does
Tangent.
not look like anything. Yes.
Hey, Tangent. Speaking of people we knew many years ago.
Yes, Tangent. Tangent and I are still friends as well, and rediscovered each other on Twitch here, and it's interesting where you find people, and it's interesting how many people have held on to the same screen names over the years.
Makes people easier to find. I've had Beta Fist Blue since 1995.
Nice. All right. What should I draw in the next panel?
Okay, so they're having an awards show.
Yes.
Is our crew nominated for anything?
They just joined them. I mean, absurdly, that'd be funny if they did win something.
Best emerging talent, maybe?
Yeah, best newcomers.
I like
That's
that.
perfect.
Face or something. Yeah. And it goes to the mushroom. Best emerging talent.
Well, he is growing.
Yeah.
He is a fun guy.
Yeah. Everyone loves the mushroom. Who doesn't? What's wrong with you? Why don't you love the mushroom? Yeah. No, I'm going to take some time with this panel, because apparently trying to access files breaks everything. So I was going to show next week's promo to go, oh, here's the earlier time. It is what is it? It's 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It's 2 hours earlier. So instead of being 9 p.m., it is going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Does the mushroom have a name?
Not yet. Same thing with the dog. The dog
Okay.
doesn't have a name yet either. Like, we've just been calling him Dog. Oh. Like, how has the process been working on your comic with editors versus when you were working independently on your own?
The part about it I really liked was that they were really invested in like talking about story beats. So even when we disagreed about something, it was like nitty gritty story stuff that was fun to talk about, you know?
Yeah.
So I felt like we were sort of like, we had a common goal even when we didn't agree. And for the most part, they kind of let me, they gave me a long leash, but also were there when I needed help. So overall, it was a really good editorial experience. Like it feels to me like something that I made up, but it would not be in this form if it weren't for them. I have had
a high
other.
compliment.
What was that?
That's a high compliment to give to an editor because that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Yeah, definitely. They were great editors. Daniel, editors Jurg, I know what you mean. I have also had some experiences with other editors that were more frustrating, but yeah, it was really cool. It is strange because it's a story that's sort of like loosely based in my childhood, but it's fiction. So sometimes we'd have a conversation where they'd be like, "This character seems like a jerk," and I'm like, "Oh, well, that's just something that a family member said," but okay. So that was interesting.
Unbelievable, but he's a real person.
Yeah, and I think that is an interesting thing to be like, just because something really happened doesn't make it believable fiction.
Yeah.
As soon as you frame it as fiction, but it really happened, isn't a good excuse anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
to serve the story.
Yeah, their goal is to make the best version of the book possible. And sometimes the best version of the book doesn't include the jerk. Or it does.
Yeah. And there were times, you know, I feel like there was a lot of like picking my battles, or most of the time I'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're right." And sometimes I've had to be like, "No, this is actually important that it be this way." But I feel like the funniest thing was that, you know, it's like I tried to write it really, like, take it really seriously, you know, like the way that I would doing an adult book. But you do have to keep the kid audience in mind. And one of the ways that came up was just like verbiage. Like I wanted characters to have like interesting speech patterns, but you also don't want it to be confusing. And so we'd have some like back and forth about that sometimes.
Yeah. About what's phonetic and what's legible, right?
I had one part where they're like talking about something happening. These kids are trying to make a movie. They're trying to think of an idea for a movie to make. And then one of them talks about something that happened in real life. And the other one says, the way I wrote it was, she says, "What if that's the movie?" And he says, "What if what's the movie?" And I thought that was kind of a fun back and forth. It's like bouncy, you know? But you can imagine like an 8-year-old reading it and being like, "What if what? So, you know, it's just something like, okay, is there a way we can phrase that keeps the kind of fun of it, but
without being confusing to early readers?
Yeah. The one that I at one time when I was just like, okay, I'm gonna fight for this even though it doesn't matter. Like this was me being a jerk a little bit, but there's a part where a kid falls in a creek and an adult pulls him out of the creek and she says, "The creek is a harsh mistress." And they were like, "What a weird phrase. Why would she say that? What does that mean?" And I was like, "It's from Robert Heinlein. It makes sense."
I liked it.
Thanks. So they let it go.
I think that was a worthy hill to to die on.
Yeah, it's hard to know when you're in the thick of it sometimes, but also I felt like I needed it to be weird. It's like you don't want to be confusing, but you also need to keep the things that make it unique.
Special. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because
it's that uniqueness that's going to set you apart from the other stories that are on the shelf.
I'm just going to draw a Zoidberg down back here.
Yay, Zoidberg.
Yeah.
So I got these new glow-in-the-dark toys that I really love.
Ooh, what'd you get?
They're like these little tiny stackable cats. But they like have these beads in them. And the beads glow in the dark.
Cute.
Nice.
And they like stack on.
Cube cats.
Yeah, cube cats. But it's cool because it's the beads that glow, not the actual cats. So it's kind of surprising. Like their guts are glowing. And look, they got little bums. Or maybe that's their little testicles. I don't know.
I'm sure you could use your imagination for either.
I mean, it's right under the tail, but yeah, it could be both, I guess. But they're super cute. I totally love them. And then I also got this die-cast Ramon from the Cars movie because he too glows in the dark. Like a bright blue neon. It's really cool.
Nice. That's very cool.
He's metal. And then I got these things. They're called Peach Riot because I went to Toronto for a Soul Coughing concert. And I got like a new Astro Boy t-shirt. Hot Topic had like 3 t-shirts for $30, which is a really good deal for t-shirts. And it's like a Cherry Blossom Astro Boy t-shirt. See?
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I really like it. But yeah, these Peach Riot toys are really neat. Here, I'll show you one. There's 3 girls. This is one of them here.
Cute.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with these characters, but I like the design.
Yeah, she doesn't move, which is kind of annoying, but I think it's pretty cool for like $20, whatever I paid.
Yeah.
One of those Japanese blind box things.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a whole bunch of them. A lot of variety. There's 3 different characters and then all the different styles of them. But yeah, what I did was I went to Uniqlo because Uniqlo is like this Japanese like I don't know, franchise. I don't know if it's a franchise, but it's like a clothing store that's all you can find them at the major cities around the world. I used to shop there all the time when I lived in China. And the reason why I go there is because they have my favorite Japanese character and I can get t-shirts made with the character on it. So this character's from the competitor company is Sanrio. It's called Terry Panda.
Cute.
And he has no bones. He like just rolls and flops everywhere. So every time I go to Toronto, I try to get like a new Terry Panda t-shirt because the Terry Pandas are not cool anymore. You don't see them anywhere anymore. Like their most popular character now is Rilakuma and Sumiko Garashi. Sumiko Garashi are these cute little guys that live in the corners of your room. And then Rilakuma is a dude in a bear suit that comes and hangs out at your house, which is quite creepy, but that's what he is. But I like the Terry Pandas a lot. Yeah, San X is the company, and they're like the antithesis of Sanrio. So I really like them.
I used to love going to Uniqlo in San Francisco, and I feel like they like did too good a job of understanding the American market, and their clothes are less exciting than they used to be. But there's still some cute stuff.
Well, I used to go there for many reasons. First of all, their basics are basically awesome. Yeah. So, like, if you need just, like, really nice clothes for work, I found it excellent. I'd find gorgeous cotton, linen, or I'd find, like, eyelets and stuff. Just really simple, beautiful things that are perfect for work and go with a lot of different looks. Also, I found a lot of nerd T-shirts there. Like I've gotten, I got Lois Lane flying with Superman in her arms. I've got like Supergirl and Batgirl, like all these old retro superhero T-shirts. And then they all focus on certain artists. So like I got early Andy Warhol, where it's like his fashion illustration shirts. I've got like they're really into Moomin. If you're into Moomin, like that's the perfect place to get that stuff, is at Uniqlo. And like I said, like I got my Terry Pandas there, which is like so rare. I can't find them anywhere else anymore. So yeah, I love Uniqlo. Sorry. And it's quality goods. Like, you know, Old Navy, the stuff falls apart real quick and you're paying a lot of money for it. They're like all those stores, it's like they're really poor quality goods. Whereas I find Uniqlo is really well made and it's good quality materials. It's like not super cheap polyester, everything. The only downside is that
pants right now.
Are you really? Oh, see, that's what I was gonna say. The only downside is for me is I don't fit into any of their bottoms. I can only fit into their tops. Because I'm a hippie girl. I got hips.
Well, you know, people of Asian descent and people of European descent have different body types.
That's true.
European descent people tend to have longer legs and shorter torsos, and people of Asian descent tend to have longer torsos and shorter legs. And so a lot, like if you're ordering clothes, like say from Temu or something like that, you have to take that into account. Like dresses, because the dresses will always feel like they're high-waisted.
All right, I think I'm done with this one.
Oh my gosh, you're kicking my ass.
Well, I'm doing much lazier panels than you. But...
Well, I stopped for tech check and I was looking at what people were saying. And
is the award a steak?
Yeah, I don't know if that really came through. It's supposed to be a peg leg.
Oh, a peg leg. Oh, okay. I think because the bottom, shouldn't the bottom be a little more peggy than spiky?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
I don't think you're done yet, Kane.
Sorry, I don't mean to be so piratey critical.
No, it's good. You're right.
But I look at that and all I see is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's gonna happen?
I was just saying I like getting editorial feedback. So.
Hey, I'm just trying to make it cohesive for our readers. But I've done like I've done a lot of writing for comics, like reviews and stuff, and I've had a lot of editors too. And it's always so frustrating when one person starts to try to take over your writing and they're saying they're being an editor. And it's like, no, I know what a good editor is like. I've had good editors and this is not it.
Yeah, and different writers need different kinds of editing, I think. So, for me, the kind of like weird speech patterns in my characters were really important, but for other people, maybe they're really just worried about clarity and the personality is going to come through another way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm thinking like an example of that might be something like Chris Claremont. When he would write Rogue, he would write the A's as us, right? A-H, right? No, I'm serious. I'm talking about the dialect.
I don't think you're joking, but it's funny.
No, but the fact that he would try and write in her Southern accent so you could hear it, right? And so
he would do it with Wolverine too.
he would, but she would say like I'm afraid, and it wouldn't be spelled I'm afraid. It would be spelled I'm afraid, right? A-H apostrophe M, and then the word afraid, and afraid might even be missing the I, right? Afraid, right? And so that you could hear it, but you could still read it, and not that that's like the best example, but that was one of my first examples of like writing dialect in comics that I was like exposed to. Because, you know, I read superhero comics because that's what was available to me. You know, I didn't have access to a lot of like independent comics and stuff like that, you know, and then I find out that like later on, I find out that Pogo had beat him to it.
Right.
You know, and had done, you know, way better work at it.
Walt
You know,
Kelly.
yeah, exactly. Like Walt Kelly was amazing and stuff like that. I'm not saying that Chris Claremont was original in his idea. I'm just saying that that's what was going on there. Let's see, and then Rob says, now I'm thinking of mushrooms with peg leg, and now I have to see that. And then
Valid.
yeah, I think we might see mushroom with peg leg. I'm gonna call this panel done just to get me off of this panel, and
Valid.
and yeah, and so this is panel 1.
Maybe because fungus is constantly growing, he like grows out another version of himself, and that's the one with the peg leg.
And you're on panel 3, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Can we see yours big?
Yeah. I'm just making sure that I'm doing. Yeah. That's them doing toast with toast.
Right.
Yeah.
Yay!
With Philo there in the
With
middle.
toast.
Yes. And yes, SK. And Daniel says, I forgot I had octopus up on the wall blackboard here in the studio. Send it to Messenger. Okay, so I am going to turn off panel 1 now, and now I am officially on panel 4. Woo! So behind.
Heck
But
yeah.
that is okay. We can move ahead. So what happens after? Who gets the peg leg?
Well, it looks like the mushroom's getting a peg
The
leg.
mushroom got the peg leg. Okay, so is he gonna like wear the peg leg?
I guess
Give it
it's
to
a
Andre,
question of,
could
do
you
we want to
fill
do
in the
more
vote?
award show bits, or do we want to move on with him having a peg leg and just have other things happen on the pirate ship?
That is a valid question.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I kind of want to see a mushroom with the peg leg myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he is a one-legged creature. So
Can I just point something else out here? I don't know if we want to go down this path, but this tiny guppy in my panel is not happy that the mushroom has won the award. So I don't know if we want to have any drama emerge from that.
Yes.
A school of fish come and steal the peg leg. His crew.
Not bad.
Pig legs as a costume. Armand with 8 peg legs as a costume. We need mushrooms with a peg leg. Rob is agreeing with me that we need a mushroom with a peg leg.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's no doubt.
So I'm thinking we're still gonna have the angry guppies because you're ready to move on too.
I am, yeah.
So I'm thinking you could do angry guppies stealing it, and I'll just have them kind of starting up in the background.
Okay.
And then
Sure.
that way I'm gonna go. Who has peg leg? I have peg leg. How could that be? Since we were talking about Kevin Smith.
Did you know that there's a Kevin Smith, like a Clerks Archie crossover comics coming out soon?
Yes, I did
Well,
know
yeah,
that.
he's got Clerks 3 coming out, so he's probably doing a lot of promotion.
The Clerks 3 came out.
Oh, really? Oh, I just saw an ad for it. Like,
Yeah,
today.
it's something. It's weirdly bleak.
Everybody
Especially
died.
about like grief and loss. It's a very strange movie.
Considering that it was like Jason Mewes was in rehab and he's like, I will make this movie if you get clean for me. And he got clean, and Kevin Smith, for his friend, did write a movie. And
Yeah, I think it's between that and him having a heart attack.
And also, don't forget, He-Man didn't do well. And it bombed pretty bad. And I think he's just kind of going scrape of the bottom of the Clerk's barrel.
Yeah, but I think what's weird about it is that it's not like playing the hits. Like, it's not the movie that you would just deliver to make people happily have Clerks 3. It's like, it takes some risks. I don't know that they're successful risks, but it's an experience.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they took risk with Clerks 2 with the donkey show at the end.
That's true. I would say Clerks 2 is a more successful movie, but
Oh,
Clerks
that's
3
awful.
is something.
That's an awful recommendation.
I would recommend it in a way where I would say it has to be seen to be believed.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good recommendation either.
That's fair. I hope
Yeah.
he's not watching this. He did his best. It wasn't memorable.
A memorable experience.
Yeah.
The initiation.
Yeah.
Has anyone in the chat watched Clerks 3? I wonder if anyone else has an opinion on this.
I'm gonna have him.
Doesn't look like anybody else did.
Apparently not. Well, at the very least, you were an extra in Mallrats. That's pretty cool.
Whoa, cool, Magic Marmot. That's one of the better ones, I think.
Yeah, Mallrats surprisingly still holds up.
Really,
like-
I haven't watched it in 20 years.
Yeah, it's Ben Affleck really acting, and I forget his name. He's lost so much weight now.
Oh,
No.
Ethan Suplee.
Yeah. It's just such a little part, but it's so funny of him trying to look at that damn sailboat.
Yeah.
And it's like I love it. I don't know.
Yeah, I should watch it again.
Yeah, that one was I think like one of his better movies. My most favorite thing that Kevin Smith ever did was Clerks, the TV show.
I agree, and I think that's the awkward thing is when you watch that now. I don't know if it's David Mandel or who, but the dominant ethereal voice I don't think is Kevin Smith. It's got a very like Simpsons-y, like high octane kind of humor to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah, especially if you look at the writer's room.
Yeah.
The writing credits on that, like you can hear Kevin Smith in it, but I don't think it's just Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, that's my favorite thing that he's been attached to. And then let's see, I haven't seen all of Mallrats, but I think I saw the Stan Lee scene. Which one? The first one or the second one?
Well, if they haven't seen the whole thing,
Yeah.
it'd be hard to know if it was the first one or the second one.
Yeah. Because the second one, he gets pretty upset.
It was a good bit in what's it called? Captain Marvel, when in Stanley's cameo, he's reading the Mallrats screenplay.
Yeah.
Gotta hand it to him.
Yeah. I heard that in the Marvels, like the Marvels was like better than what people were giving it credit for. Like I heard that it was actually a pretty fun watch.
I thought it was cute, and I don't like all the Marvel movies. A lot of them I turn off after about 20 to 40 minutes, and I finished that one. So
that is good recommendation.
I like Kamala Khan, both in the comics and the show. So
well, she used to write the books.
That's the character.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm talking about the actress that played her.
She's written some of the books, but she didn't start the series.
No, she didn't start the series. No, but I'm saying that she used to write.
She wrote the comics. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. I knew that that's the character that you're talking about, but I'm sorry. I was thinking of the
I gotcha.
Actually played her for not a very long period of time. It was like 3 years. She was writing the comics while she was playing the character. So.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jeremy.
Let's see. Amber, can we change it to who has peg leg? I has peg leg? I has peg leg? Okay, I can do that. I has peg leg. I'm all about bad grammar. English is so interesting as a language that you can have bad grammar and people still understand what you mean. They just go, "Oh, your grammar is so poor."
Well, I never.
Well, I never. Let's see. I'm just gonna add fish. I'm just gonna keep adding fish. Like I miss things about ink, and then I can do this. You know?
Yeah. It's. I would like to do it more because it's fun to bust out the supplies, but in terms of just like getting art done.
Yeah. Like when I realized that I had broken my system and that I was going to have to figure it out tonight somehow, I was considering busting out the ink and like setting up the cameras and doing like a 5x5 square and like for my panels and stuff. But then I was like, but if I do that, then I have ink everywhere.
Yes, it's I did used to love quote unquote how much I would infuriate TSA because they'd like look in my bag and they'd be like, "What is this?" And they're like, "That's an ink stone. You grind it to make ink." And I'm like, "What's this?" It's a holder of Subi brushes. And it was all things that are like they didn't break any rule, but every one of them was weird.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I gotta eat where I'm going, man.
Japanese, Chinese.
Whereas if I have an iPad, it seems very normal to them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right, we're gonna turn that off. We're gonna add our shadow layer. Yeah, I could easily see that being an issue. It's kind of like you have to get all of these special sheets and stuff if you are getting like a sword or something transported or you're carrying it through TSA. I'm serious. You know, if it like I'm talking like a prop sword or even like a family heirloom or something that you bought at auction, right? And it's like I'm not going to use this to chop up the plane. You know, if this is like a legitimate thing that like this is a historical object, right? And you have to get all this documentation that basically says you're not going to chop up the plane with the sword. And
but you know, if I wanted to chop up a plane with a sword, I would make sure to get that documentation.
Would you though? You know, would you? Like, oh darn, I forgot to get the documentation.
So is the theory that anyone who wants to attack a plane with a sword specifically is like too whimsical to bother with paperwork?
I think that it's really expensive to get that paperwork.
Okay, so only rich people get to attack everyone on a plane with a sword. This is what Bernie Sanders was talking about, you know?
Only rich people get to do a lot of things. All right, you know, any law that is paid with a fine, right? That's the punishment. Means that it's for rich people.
Yeah,
right?
and that's when I attacked everyone on my plane with a sword, I got an exorbitant fine.
Yes,
and
exactly.
GoFundMe is in the comments.
Yes. And so no, but what I'm saying is like not necessarily that, but say you're super rich, right? You attack someone with a sword, right? You get the best lawyers to say, oh no, he was just off his meds that day. He was having a bad day.
Yeah, you get some expert in sword law and they're fucked.
Bedtime. Okay, bye Arcadia.
Good night, Arcadia.
Good night, Arcadia.
Blue Sky link for the CFM, Kane. Blue Sky link for your book.
What is CFM? I'm not familiar with that.
CFM, cartoon, something maybe. If we follow the thieves, they need the name of a school as their gang name.
Oh, good point. Harvard.
Not Brown. No, I'm just joking. doesn't
You're a
have-
Brown hater.
What, you don't? No, I was just joking because Brown is a women's college. You know, everyone goes to Harvard, right? But Harvard was traditionally a men's college for
Right,
years and
right.
years and years. They didn't allow women in for years and years and years. And
Uh,
Brown was like the Harvard for women for years because they wouldn't allow women into Brown, or they wouldn't allow women into Harvard.
I thought you were just trying to be like, the Simpsons has like so many jokes that are incomprehensible if you didn't go to an Ivy League.
Oh, no.
It's just like, yeah, good burn on Vassar, I guess. I don't know what this means. I went to state school, but
Well,
Um.
I guess it technically is that because like you would have to know about the history of Brown being a women's college and the fact that it was like a fuck you to men going to Harvard and women who applied to Harvard, and it's like, yeah, you're super smart and we know you've like saved lives and stuff doctoring, but we're not gonna like let you study for a degree or anything because you're just a midwife, right? And so like it's like, fuck you, I'm gonna start my own college. And she did, and that's Brown College.
gotcha.
And so it was originally a medical college, and now it studies everything. And yeah, it's it's like I kind of look out for like good role models in history,
Mm-hmm.
and like I just thought that was such a cool, spiteful story that it was just like, she was a midwife and she had a really good record for delivering babies. And she also, tended to sick people and, did other things. And so she wanted to go to school to basically learn how to be a doctor so that she could tend to more people. And yeah, they're like, oh no, we're not going to do that. So she started her own school.
Huh. All right, I think I'm done with this one.
I think I'm done
Pending
with this one,
approval of our crew.
Okay, I think I'm done with this one too. Oh my gosh, the peg leg drops! They abscond with the leg! Oh no! Oh no! Okay, and then this is me. This is what I'm doing. So he was loving the leg there.
Yeah, he's living high on the hog there.
Yeah, and then he loses the leg. So what happens after he loses the leg? Let's see, Schoolfish. I think Nyack College had a history not allowing women on campus early on during its early years. And I think it wasn't until decades later when women and men were allowed to be on campus together. I don't know if I'm getting the history 100% correct, but I do know some friends were aware of what happened. Like the Underwater Academy. When in doubt, leggy out.
That's my cat's philosophy.
Okay, so if I'm done and
Excuse
you're
me.
done, are you on panel 5 or panel?
5,
You're on panel-
yeah.
Okay,
if I'm counting
so then
correctly.
okay, then I'm on panel 6. Okay, I'm just trying to maintain continuity. So then you would
For
be on
sure.
panel 7.
Yeah. Can you remind me what time we go till?
8:30 my time, which would be 7:30 your time.
Okay.
I hope that's not too late for you.
No worries. Yeah, sounds good. Okay.
Okay. So what happens after our mushroom friend loses the leg? I literally just heard the word whisper. In
Yeah.
music.
They said that.
Yeah, they did.
Follow the thieves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So should I do the following of the thieves?
Well, if they're following the thieves, I guess we're having another chase sequence after the peg leg now instead of the buffet. And it looks like we lost Robin.
It does appear that way.
Yeah,
Maybe the same
no!
thief stole Robin.
No! The thief stole Robin!
She's gonna come back as Nightwing.
Maybe she will. Or no, as long as she doesn't come back as the Red Hood.
Oh yeah, that would be unfortunate.
Yeah,
I guess once we'd have to after the chat vote on if she comes back or not. And then
I would be okay. I would be okay with Robin coming back as Nightwing, a little angry at me, and not the Red Hood, really angry at me.
Right? Yeah. Rob's saying Thieves' point of view. All right. So
Okay.
how about I'll draw what the fish are up to.
Okay.
And then you'll draw when we cut back to. I feel like Philo needs to be in this chapter, right?
Yeah,
So
like we had him in the first panel, like at the end of the table, toasting with toast. And then and so I don't know, I guess the fish would be eating his toast. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I guess he would be eating his toast.
I think we need some more. Who's here? Come on, what do you guys think? So I'll be showing what the thieves are up to. What should Philo and the gang be doing?
Do you have an idea of what the thieves are up to?
I think there might be dissension in their ranks because only one of them was really invested in getting this leg.
Well, only one of them can really wear the leg.
I don't know that any of them can because they're little, you know? I don't think they thought this through. And they're fish who don't normally have legs.
There are walking fish.
Well, they don't know that.
I'm sure they're aware of walking fish in the ocean they live in. You know, like I'm sure that like
they're probably like on the news sometimes.
Okay. Only one of them is invested in the leg. So there's mutiny amongst the fish. So if Philo's going to come back, maybe he takes a net to the fish.
Yeah. I think your panel is next sequentially, right? Because I did.
Mm-hmm. So then I would actually be doing the mutiny amongst the fish.
Okay.
I would do fish school mutiny. Fish school mutiny! Because only one of them can wear the leg.
All right, so what should Philo be doing?
Ha! I leave it to you. Ha ha ha! No, I'm joking. Who's antenna? Who's a net? They're keeping it as an icon of oppression.
Is Annette a pun?
Yes. Net is a pun. Let's see. Fish school mutiny. So yes. So there would be one fish with the peg leg that is like way too big for him. And he's got like a little strap on it. So then that way he can wear it. And he's looking very pleased with himself. As fish are wont to do. Very, very pleased with himself and his little peg leg. Yes. So, like, now that your book is done, what's your next project?
I don't think I have a big project I can talk about yet, but I've got a couple things in the preparatory stages.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a sci-fi thing I want to do, and I'm hoping to do a sequel to this book. So we'll see if that's possible, if enough people read it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I should say anything about that because it's in early stages. But
It's in early stages.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's you're working on a possible sequel if
Yes.
this book goes well.
Yeah, and it's there's like two kind of there's like the character that's sort of the obvious Kane analog is you know, the protagonist of this one, but his best friend is a big part of it too. So I think it'd be cool to do a story where she's the main character.
Nice. I'll do this. I'll have one very pleased fish.
What should I be doing?
I know we never figured it out. What happens after they decide to have a mutiny?
Well, no, mine goes before yours, right? Or no, it goes after.
No, it
but
goes after.
Sorry, but is it? Should I just continue the fish story, or are we cutting back to our heroes?
Well, I thought Philo was gonna take a net to him because we had some response.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Robin. She must have had a power outage or something because I'm asking her on Facebook where she went. She's not responding.
Probably the Joker.
Gosh, I hope I didn't say anything to upset her. I don't think I did.
So.
Yeah. So, okay, so we'll have Philo net him to get, I guess, the peg leg back. We'll have a little screw there. Yeah. Yeah, the computer was a surprise. Ian was surprising me with the purchase. And so it's going to be a couple weeks before I can get it up. But that's okay. That just means that when it finally gets up, I will really enjoy it. I don't know. I haven't updated my system in a long time, so it's long overdue. And I do enough streaming, and I rarely leave. You know, I don't like have a tablet or anything that I draw on. So it's like I might as well make it a comfortable work environment and just go straight to a desktop. So. Kind of going for I'm trying for Susie and fish here.
What's a good idea?
Let's see. I like the political angle. Go off on a tangent of just the fish clash. Hope Robin is okay. I've said those same words.
Well, it's a day of computer issues. I bet she's okay and just had a tech problem of her own.
Oh, yeah, like I said, I hope it's just, you know, nothing big. But yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah. In the meantime, over the next 15 minutes, I can work on this panel and draw fish. And so. Oh, come on, computer. Don't freak out on me. Don't do that. Yeah, usually I try and have all my stuff together. I try and have all my tech check and stuff together, but it's been a day where I have been underneath the table more than I have been at it. trying to plug stuff in and going, does this work? Come on. Yeah. Let's see. More power. Yeah. I think Magic Marmot wasn't in the room when I was talking about it, but I'm gonna call it Nakatomi Tower when I finally get it up and running because it's a tower. Come on, don't do this to me. Okay. We're gonna cheat a little. We're gonna go. On. Okay, we're gonna go copy, paste. Okay, I said copy, paste. Here we go. It almost looks like I did it on purpose. So are you drawing anything for fun these days? Like not for a project?
Not too much. I've been kind of doing like piddly stuff related to my book. So I just did this like interactive comic activity that's gonna kind of be like a freebie to go with the book.
Aww.
I guess my kind of fun thing is I've been teaching myself to animate a little bit because I was like,
I'm so proud of you.
like comics is not time consuming enough and allows you too much opportunity to move your body and be around other people, right? So what's a more tedious, more labor intensive, slower art form? It's animation, so it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Why not just make it, 10 times harder on yourself?
Yeah, that's fun. But I made a little animated trailer for my book, and I was kind of like to Scholastic. I was like, "Are you gonna like make me make an animated trailer? Like totally force me to do that?" And they were like, yeah, sure, dude. If you want to do that, you can." And I was like, "Okay, if you're making me." So,
Are you forcing me to learn a new skill that I really want to learn on my own?
Yeah.
Are you giving me a reason? A reason to do that?
Good night, Tangent.
Night, Tangent.
But yeah, so that'll be up soon, I think. If you go to my website, kanetunes.com, you can see some little animated GIFs and stuff that I've been doing. Yes, I pronounce it GIFs. Fight me.
I'm not going to fight you. I just pronounce it GIFs because the way I look at it, graphic, image file is it's a hard G for graphic. And there's, yes, the man who designed it says it's a soft G. And I can respect that, but there is the cultural norm of what's been the vernacular for, almost 40 years now.
I think what's weird about it is it's an internet word, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of however you started saying it to yourself when you were young.
Yeah, like my school or whatever.
Yeah, so it's just, that's the way that sounds right to me. But,
yeah,
I think both are fine, but some people get weird about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop talking to you because, I don't agree with the way that you pronounce the word. But...
If we need some kayfabe to generate views here.
Let's see. Oh, do I have one of those?
Okay. I don't know how to type in the chat. Do I have that power?
You should have that power. to type in chat? Oh, no. I'm sorry. As a guest, you do not have that power. I
Okay.
have that power. What do you need typed in chat?
Well,
Put it
my-
in private chat, and I will copy it over.
All right. Here, I'll give you my website that has the animations, and then I'll
Yes.
give you a link to directly to the page about my book.
It's Jiff. I was there in the beginning, says Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah, let me do that. Okay. There you go. There is Kane Tunes where you can find all the Kane Tunes that you need that are animated GIF files.
And then if you click on the graphic novel section on that website, you can pre-order my book.
Yeah. And be even cooler.
Yeah.
So okay. More like questions about like being a creative person, because
So
I've
that's
known
us.
you. Yeah, well, I've known you for a while,
Yes,
and
you
stuff
have.
like
It's
that.
true.
So, I've known you for a long time, and you were always drawing when you were in school and stuff. And then, you made Glidewell, which was your Keen Space comic.
Yes.
And, that's where you cut your teeth, like learning how to draw, right? And teaching yourself, like, this is how you put a comic together.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't give myself enough room for words and stuff. Hey, no stereotypes is that for me. Like,
Yeah.
totally,
Wait. Yeah, you got to learn somehow. Yeah.
Yeah. We all have to learn somehow. And so when you were starting to like get published with the nib and things, and your work was smoothing, and you were starting to come to your color palettes and stuff, about when in your career where you start to make stuff where you're like, hey, that ain't bad, like because I know that every artist is their own worst critic, and it's really easy to like beat up on yourself and think you're the worst artist in the world, and like I've seen you do nothing but get better.
Oh, thank
And
you.
And I know that like you're gonna be doing like these amazing these amazing comics and stuff when I'm still like struggling with Philo panels and tech checks.
Well, I think you're an amazing artist too. Don't be selling yourself short over here.
Oh, I'm raw talent with little skill. But no, you've developed like a professional like look and feel, and like your stuff looks like it's legit.
Thank you.
My stuff's very sloppy.
I think it's weird because I did a graphic novel that I finished. I started in 2009 and finished in 2012. That I feel like by the end of it, I had a style that I liked. And after that,
Which one was that?
It's called The Relics. You can read it on KaneLynch.com, which is my other website.
Well, you better throw that into private chat so I can throw it in.
Yeah, let me make... I'll put it up, and if it's not working for anyone, let me know, because I've had some weird issues with it. But so it basically, by the end of that, I feel like I had like, oh, this is what my art ought to look like, but it wasn't. It was like a batting average question, It was like, if I spent a week on a page, it might look pretty good, but I would have to spend a week on it and it might not look good. And I went to the Center for Cartoon Studies after that, where there was the curriculum is kind of based around having to just produce a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, no one said this to me, maybe this is in my head, but I feel like there was almost a feeling of like, oh, but your portfolio looks so nice though. Like, they clearly thought I was like an exciting person to be coming to the school when they accepted me, and then a lot of the work I made was like pretty rough because I was basically having to reteach myself to make things quickly, you know.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a deadline issue. It was just like, are the goofy things in my head translating, and then trying to kind of put different aesthetic goals together. Like I like this kind of swoopy brush lines, like Seth or an old New Yorker cartoonist. But I also like a lot of like kind of rough, like big sumi brush kind of textures. And so how do you integrate those in a way that looks good and stuff like that? And so I feel like even the stuff I was doing for the nib, like not that long ago, you know, early 2020s, I still sort of felt like every page I was like, okay, I fooled them this time. This one's okay. And so really it's not until this book, which I've been working on for the past few years, that I felt pretty reliably like, I'm confident I can do this and it will look basically the way I think my comic should look.
So you feel like you're finally over your imposter syndrome?
Yeah, but I don't think it's quite imposter syndrome, because I think it really is just like, it's like I know what it's just like sometimes it just wasn't working, you know? Like
yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm there now, though I do feel like I wish I had more, what's the word? Like versatility, I guess. Like when I step outside of my current art style, it doesn't always go that well, and that is like a little frustrating to me. But also, I feel like I've built up a style that I like, so it could be worse, you know?
Yeah. Let's see. And then let me do this. I'll throw my panel up there in the big window so that we can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit.
See, that looks fucking great. And mine is much worse. So I think you got to retract what you said about being sloppier than me.
No, my stuff's so sloppy. Like my coloring book that I put out, it took me so long to do those pages, and I was so proud of it. And like nobody paid attention, and like it took me so long to do those pages because I was drawing artwork I like to look at. Right? Like,
yeah,
you're right. Like when I was in the comics program at MCAT, it was very similar, where it was like produce, right? Like now's your chance to learn how to make stuff quickly. And I was making stuff quickly, which is fine, but that's not always the best thing. Sometimes you need to slow down if you want to make like a really good background or something. And so, you know, to serve the story, sometimes you need to like plan out that time. And so it was like one of the first projects I did after school, where I'm like, well, I'm going to draw it the way I want to draw it. I'm not going to draw it the way that I think is marketable or that will sell.
Yeah.
Or that will, you know, that I think people will buy or whatever. I'm just going to make a project that I think I would buy, and no one buys it. No one buys it.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, there could be a lot of reasons for that. I don't know, but I don't think that's intrinsically a judgment on your abilities.
No, there are a lot of reasons. It's a nude coloring book. It's an adult coloring book, and so that limits the market right there, because it can't be sold with kids coloring books,
right?
Because it's nude. You know, but it's tasteful nudes. They're Art Nouveau.
Right, yeah, I remember seeing some of it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm not trying to, you know, do something that's not artistic. I'm not trying to draw smut, but you still have to put nudity and all that stuff in it. And, you know, yeah. So this is the Peg Leg Fish School Mutiny. And what I'm going to do with Fish School Mutiny is I'm going to give them like little, let's do a really messy brush. Like my Sumi brush here. Let's do this. And we're going to give them like little angry clouds above their heads. Because they're upset. Yeah, little angry clouds above their heads.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, and then also little angry eyebrows. I realized I didn't make him look angry enough. You need to look angrier.
The like perspective on this is really good too. Like just that little low angle with it. He looks like Mussolini up there or something.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for, was that, you know, he's like, I got the peg leg. Right? But
you know, I just think this is a moment that's maybe worth pondering with what you just said for the folks watching, because you're all being self-deprecating, but like you just busted that out and it looks amazing. You know. We all see our flaws more than our strengths. You know.
I suppose that's true. Rob says, thank you. We'll check out. Thanks. Always learning, always trying. I know a couple of people that bought it. Oh, well, thank you. And then Rob says it's beautiful.
And I think he's talking about the coloring book, because he bought a copy of the coloring book, and so
either way, he's complimenting your art. So.
Well, I appreciate that. So we are at time, and so you are free. You do not need to hang out with me anymore, and I don't know where Robin went. Robin dropped off the face of the earth. I will send my pigeon to Canada to make sure that like they didn't cut off the United States from Canada, and like make sure she's okay. Anyway, so let me shut down the arts tonight, and then Kane, my good friend and fantastic person that I've known for so long, and like I'm so proud of you. Like I had something to do with it, you know.
You did.
I didn't. No. You did. You've worked so hard for all of your achievements, right? Like I always say that baby steps climb the mountain.
Yeah.
Right. And like I kind of imagine it where like you're doing the baby steps, right? And then like you can look back.
Yeah.
And you can see the vista of like how far you've climbed, right?
Yeah.
And it's like when you're looking down at the ground at the baby steps, you're just seeing the ground in front of you, and it doesn't seem like it's that far because your feet are on the ground, right? You know, gravity is sucking you to that ground. But when you turn back and you look at the vista, that's how far you can see you've come, right? And so like take a moment and look back at the vista.
Yeah.
You know, and see the fact that like the nib's not a small thing. You know, psychology today ain't small. Like publications, like people, like real people in the real world read psychology today, and somebody out there saw your illustrations and like helping to convey an idea, and your illustrations helped convey that idea for them in Psychology Today, which is why they paid you money for those illustrations.
You know, one of the things that people said to me before that used to piss me off, but then I'm like, no, they're right, actually, and it's a good thing, is people would just say, like, you just keep doing it, huh? And, like, some like other comics people would say that, and I always felt like, if you thought I was doing something good, you'd say something else, but you're just saying, oh, you're still here. But, like, that is what a lot of it comes down to, right? It's just persistence and keep making stuff.
But that grit is good, right? And the thing is I read somewhere that you have to be okay with being disliked to do great things, right? And so, like, you're not gonna make every friend. You're not gonna have everybody like look at your stuff and like be as wowed and as amazed as like some of the kids that are gonna pick up this book and like find something in real life that like is gonna help them with like maybe some situation they're going through, or like, you know, they see themselves in one of your characters, or, you know, maybe they're like doing the maladaptive daydreaming thing and they put themselves into your story, you know, like whatever it is, like there's going to be those kids out there that are going to find it. And so you have to allow yourself the grace to understand that, like, it's for them, right?
Yeah, and that is, it's interesting because I hope adults read it too, but it is that is the big audience, and I haven't really reckoned with in a way. It's going to be interesting to like talk to kids about it.
Yeah, exactly. And so like I said, like, not everybody's going to look at your stuff and think it's amazing, right? And that's been true of my stuff. That's been true of I'm sure, Michelangelo, right? Sure. Like, crying out loud, like he put a snake biting the genitals of one of his critics, and, because he's like, this guy doesn't like me. Well, I'll show you. And that is forever on the Sistine Chapel for us. Right. But yes, like, the thing is going back to Michelangelo, like, that is on the Sistine Chapel, right?
Yeah.
His critic, like, I don't remember the name of his critic. I remember he's a critic of Michelangelo.
But it is weird that that's probably his immortality right there.
That is his immortality, right? Is like he's a footnote in history. If you're looking through Italian records of the time, right? Papal records of the time or whatever.
Right.
He's a cardinal. But I don't remember his name. I just remember that he had a lot of power at the time. He had the Pope's ear, and he didn't like some depiction or something, or rather, he didn't like, I think it was, I think it was like the nudity or something. He didn't like it. And so, like, the next panel that went up the next day was supposed to be this sinner with his genitals being bitten by the snake, right? And so the head of the sinner, like the body and everything, had been approved by the Pope and stuff, but the head of the sinner was replaced when it was put up for the fresco. That's
pretty funny.
Yeah. So just remember to
get vengeance.
Draw in your critics and draw them as little funny characters. And
I don't think I put in any vengeful things in the book, but it's possible I just did and don't remember, because I definitely entertained the idea a few times.
There's a difference between vengeance and spite. Vengeance you hold on to. Spite you do and you let go of.
Interesting.
Right? You just do something out of spite, and then you're just like, you're just like, okay, I'll draw a little nasty drawing of you.
Well, you've been inspiration to me since I was 13 or whatever.
Aww.
So thank you for all you do and for creating this community here.
Well, it's a tiny little cute, cool community that I'm trying to make, and I appreciate everybody in comments and chat for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
And Kane, again, I you're always invited back, and I will have you again in the future. I'm going to close the window now, though, and then it's me. Hi. I don't know if I will have my situation set up. If I like do this, you can see my monitors aren't working right now. There's my Huion tablet and stuff like that. My tower's down there, my new one, but I don't have it like hooked up yet. I have to do that. So what I am going to do, though, is anybody who's sticking around for the raid, we are going to raid someone. And so, let's do that. Let's go stream manager. And then we're going to raid someone real quick. See if there's anybody on that I am following. Let's see. Squibbly Design. I rated them the other day. Yeah, we will raid again. Okay. Come on. Let's do it. Right now. All right. Thank you, everybody. I will see you guys in the future. Have a good one.